Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Today we have another summer activity, another adult question that we will answer, and I hope that you enjoy these summer themed videos as we are so close to the end of the school year. We're getting there. We're so close. Hang on, guys. Um, so today we're going to talk about playing cards. I don't know about everyone else, but my summer typically involves a decent amount of playing games, tabletop games, card games, other board games, other like sports games. I don't know what you qualify Twister as. It's not really a board game, but things like that. All kinds of games. So I wanted to talk specifically about card games, but I think this video is pretty safe to say that it's actually in a larger scale about all games. We are going to talk a little more specifically about sports later on, but today we're talking about more indoor games, table games, card games. Often, board games involve a mover or a little piece that we have to pick up and move, and that pinch is pretty good for our fine motor control and grasp. So I encourage that. If there's a spinner or rolling of the dice, that can be really great for some fine motor coordination as well. And typically setting up a game can involve some fine motor pieces as well. So table games are great. Plus, it can challenge our focus and our attention while we are trying to play, and some visual tracking if there is a path that we need to follow. So games like Candyland, where sometimes we're hopping all around the board, can be really great for our visual scanning. If you've played them before, it might be a little easier because you know exactly where all of the character spots are, but maybe you're not quite positive where the next green space is or the next yellow space. And so you can utilize visual scanning and use any strategies you used in school for that. Maybe, starting at one point and using our finger to follow. So games are great for that as well. Card games are really, really good for that fine motor component because we have to do things like shuffle the cards, deal the cards out, hold our cards, fan them out so we can see all the cards, pull apart just one or two and lay them down, things like that. So I challenge you guys to learn how to shuffle a deck of cards if you're not quite sure how. You can start with just a few cards to make it a little bit easier and then gradually build in more and more cards. You should practice being the dealer. You should practice holding your cards in your hand. And if that's really hard for you, start with a game where you might hold fewer cards and build up from there. You can also practice flipping cards one way or the other. That's really, really good for that fine motor control and coordination. So cards are really going to work those in-hand muscles, those finger muscles and wrist muscles, and they're going to help us with handwriting and cutting. If you have to use two hands to hold open your little fan of cards, that's perfectly fine. As we've talked before, using two hands close to that middle line of our body is really good for cutting because when we cut, we use one hand to manipulate the scissors and the other hand to control and manipulate the piece of paper that we're cutting. So using two hands is acceptable to hold cards. Playing card games is also a really great way, again, similar to board games, to focus on that visual scan, to focus on our attention, to focus on changing our attention from person to person and then back to ourselves, keeping track of multiple things at once. So it's really good for our processing and our environmental awareness. So I hope that you will give card games and tabletop games a try. There's plenty of really fun card games out there. There's plenty of really fun tabletop games out there, and there's more coming out all the time. So if you don't have one in your house that you enjoy playing, maybe you'll be able to find one online. And that leads us to our adult question for today, which is, what if we have other ideas for interpreting the games, activities, arts and crafts, etc. that I, Teacher K, present to you? And to that question, I say, great, fabulous, I love it. I want you to interpret these activities, crafts, games, whatever you want to call them, or whichever ones you pick. I want you to interpret them in your own way. I want you to take them and make them fit for your house, for your routines, for your child. So I'm totally fine if you take a piece of my activity and a piece of your own idea and mix them together and make a whole new activity. Do whatever works for you guys. Ideally, we still want things to be working towards our therapy goals so that we can create the most bang for our buck, see the most benefit, help ourselves through these fun activities to have an easier time with school, homework, classwork, etc. So if you feel like you're worried that you've changed my activity and now it's not at all resembling what I talked about and you're not sure if it's beneficial, as always, reach out. I am here for you guys. I am a resource for you guys. Shoot me an email and I will very gladly listen or look at what you're doing and help you in some way, shape, or form to make it therapeutic. So that is our video for today. We talked about games and we talked about interpreting these activities and making them our own. I hope you gained something from today's video, and I will see you on the next one. Have a great day, guys. We're almost to the end of the year. You can do it. I believe in you. Have a great day. Bye.